Right, good morning everybody. Today is Monday morning. The shop is obviously closed, but that does not mean we stop. Today we're going down to see Alice Hardman in Shipley to check out progress on our new cups. We've got Benj with us, he's behind the camera. He's going to be doing this new series of videos for us. It's a little bit of an insight, a bit behind the scenes. Basically looking at what happens in the shop when we're not open. Behind the scenes of some of our suppliers, so our cup makers, our bakers, our coffee roasters, stuff like that. So yeah, you join us on the way to Shipley, go see Alice, see a new studio, see progress of the cups. There we go. Welcome to Shipley. Hi.
Perfect.
Look at this.
I've just been for a week.
Oh well.
Nice.
Hi.
I'm downstairs. I think Andy might be in there somewhere.
Just doing this thing. There's still quite a few empty spots though.
Yeah.
Cool, so we are down at Yarn Studios with lovely Alice. So the last video that we did was in Alice's previous studio. So this isn't just going to be the Alice's Studio YouTube channel. This is basically, it's just the way it's worked. It's quite nice that last time we saw you in the previous studio doing the previous batch of cups.
Yeah.
And this time we're now in the new one, so down at Yarn Studios in Shipley, on the top floor, new studio that you moved into
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, very much
Brand
settled in.
Getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, yeah, today we're going to have a little look around the studio. Alice is working on our 4th batch of cups at the moment, so they're in the kind of trimming, is that what you said? Trimming stage?
Trimming and handles.
Trimming and handles stage, which is cool. So we wanted to kind of factor this video in, or get this video put in while the cups were still in the making or in the process, just so you can kind of get an insight as to what goes into them, because they take quite a long time to make. We'll have a look in the studio, we'll kind of see where we're at. Obviously Alice is going to give us a little bit of an insight into the studio, because this is her new home.
This is, well this is it actually, this is the whole thing. This is my kiln, these are my shelves, and that's the wheel. That's kind of all of it.
So, 2 sizes as always with our cups, which is very nice. So we have...
These ones are the 10 ounce.
And they always look massive at this stage, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Like, eat soup out of that. But they shrink about... Look, at the start I thought it was around 12%, but now it's more like 13.5%, 14%.
6s, these are flat whites, these are cortados. If you have a split shot, if you have a flight in the shop, this is what you'll be drinking out of. Obviously, they will have a handle on.
Yeah.
Today? Or this week?
Today.
Today is the day. But yeah, again, these shrink a little bit. Obviously, they look quite of a decent size in here. But yeah, these will shrink ever so slightly. And they'll just become part of the rotation in the shop. It's lovely.
Inside.
In fact, that's really nice, because that is essentially that.
Yeah.
So that is kind of, you can see how
it's going to become that.
How the shape changes ever so slightly. Yeah. That, when it's shrunk ever so slightly and when it's got its handle on, will look something kind of like that.
Yeah.
So that's the current glaze that we've got, which is what we're going to be using for the cups out of this selection that are going to be used in the shop.
Spring cream.
Spring cream.
Yeah. I was chuffed when I thought of that.
So yeah, it's a nice kind of white with it's got a little pink tinge to it, which is lovely.
The pink comes from a reaction in the kiln. If there's even like a tiny amount of chrome in there, like chromium oxide, it reacts with the tin in the spring cream and makes a pink flash, like. And then it goes with varying degrees of pink, depending on how much chrome's in the kiln. Like, that was only, maybe there was one pot that had 0.2% chrome in it, in the whole body of the kiln, and then it just affects everything in there, in the atmosphere. Yeah. And
ours are going to have this kind of like 2/3 dip as well. So there, the bottom third is going to be kind of the raw exposed clay, and then the top will be glazed.
I love it. It's like when I do them for you, because I know them, it is like hanging out with someone I know, but making things I know, because there's a real rhythm to making, and then if I have to start something new, there's like an excitement in that, but there's a real there's a comfort and like a relaxing, like, I know what I'm doing in like doing the same thing again and again. Yeah, it's good.
Love it. So run through exactly what glaze is made out of.
It's made out of, it's kind of 3 core elements. There's silica, which is a glass former, alumina, which is comes from clay, and that's like a binder, and then a flux, which brings down the melting temperature, and then there's water, because glaze is a liquid. It's like and then to make the colour you add like additives, so iron oxide or cobalt or copper or something, and then if you mix those together they create different colours, and it's chemistry, and then you can make, I don't want to say endless because there probably is an end, but it is definitely a lifelong thing, and that's what a glaze looks like. You need to mix it.
So have you got an example of what that would come out looking like?
Yeah, that one is this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah, and the only way of knowing what it will look like is by firing it.
By testing it.
Yeah, taking it all the way through. So if you make like a big batch of something and you just hope it's going to be nice, I just wouldn't be able to do that. That's why I make lots of tiny tests. So this year I'd like pink, brown, green, and I want this, but maybe like a cousin.
Something along the same kind of lines.
Yeah, creamy.
And is that kind of, so when you say they're the four you're going to focus on, are you going to be doing other stuff as well, specifically for people, or will you kind of say this is what I got?
No, I really like meeting a brief. So if someone wanted, I don't know, blue, I'm happy to go and find the perfect blue. But those four, I think I need them. Unless we're like, no, I won't.
What, for lining it up?
For lining it up and also like helping to see. Now I just use two eyes.
Yeah.
It's so useful. That was tap centering. And tap centering is putting the pot in the middle of the wheel by tapping to the beat of the wobble. And learning to tap center, that took me about 9 months, I think. Maybe I was doing it twice a week for 9 months. And then trimming away clay from the base, it refines the shape. I have thought about getting a stamp to add in the sunshine, but I really enjoy this bit. I prepped some handles, although most that I make for you are pulled handles rather than like prefabricated and stuck on. I pull them from the body.
As in the consumption of biscuits?
Yeah.
Were you getting pretty? Was it getting pretty?
Yeah, heavy. I really got into sugar last year.
What was your go-to biscuit?
Bourbons.
Bourbons?
Yeah.
See, that's low down for me. It's not even top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, I think they're a bit mid, a bit mild.
Ooh.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? My granddad would be turning his grave listening to this. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is great.
He loved a bourbon.
So what do you like?
Oh, I'm a chocolate hobnob.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So taking it from one to the other, that's how you prep. So like chunks, and then I stick that crosshatch, scratch, edge, and then scratch again. And then you need some slip, and this is like a glue, like a PVA glue amount. So a wiggle and a push. And then looking at seeing if it's straight on. That looks alright. There could have been a bit more. That'll do. And then from here, I turn it the other way.
Size of that batter, or is that pretty much the right size? It just needs pulling a bit more flat to them.
A bit more flat, and then maybe a little bit more to get enough bend so that I can stick it down as well. Yeah. And then I'll push, And then, so I'll blend that in. And then push that out a bit. They're so cute. Oh, nice, and a space for a finger underneath and a thumb on top. Push that a bit. I just like getting things bang on.
Yeah.
And every one is a little bit different, so then it's like responding to the language of the body and how it relates to the handle. Oh, I love it. Yeah, and then smooshing and blending.
But when you said then about the fact that is, yeah, your finger goes through that bit, but then your other finger sits underneath,
Yes.
and then your thumb goes on top. There's like 3 points of contact.
Yes, with a gap.
With a gap, and enough room for someone who's got big hands or little hands.
Yeah.
That it kind of works for everybody. So loads of different stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, lots to consider.
Yeah.
And then you only know that when you've made it so many times and got it wrong.
Yeah.
Loads of times. And I really try.
But sometimes it'll be more.
Sometimes it'd be more, and then sometimes be like,
Done it.
done it.
Yeah.
And the different handles are different time lengths. So like quicker, because at the bottom I just pushed it on, like that's my thumbprint there, and then left it.
Right, so yeah, so that is today, basically a little insight into the next batch of cups, Alice. So we've gone from just a thrown cup to a little handled number. So these are, how far away do you reckon?
I'll fire them next week and then glaze them hopefully that same week. End of March.
So a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
couple of weeks away. So for those of you that I've already been telling that they're going to be in the shop, they're on their way. I know a couple of people have already bagged a couple of cups, so they won't last long. But hopefully the plan for this year is to have a decent rotation of cups. Fresh ones coming out.
Yep.
So yeah, this is Alice's studio, the new space, which is lovely to see. And these are our new cups.
Oh,
so,
thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome anytime.
And if you see Alice in the shop when she's coming for a coffee, say hello to her.
You don't have to, but you can if you want.